Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Morning Brews. On today's show, Ryan Mason is in advanced talks to join Anderlecht. Txiki Begiristain is leaving Manchester City. And who do you choose to be your next assistant manager? Stay tuned here. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, your world-famous Morning Brew show with myself, the Kauff and the Dagul. We're here. Roadman is busy doing some important stuff in the Roadman world. He's even doing some thingy-majigs. But we're here. We have the final boss and we have the tribal chief here for another fun show. So, Aki, How you doing? It's good to see us both on the screen again.
It is. I must say, doing some thingy-majigs is brilliant. He certainly is doing well in his thingy-majigs. Yeah, listen, it's good to be doing a stream with you. Good morning, Morning Brewers. Good morning, everyone. It's international break, and you know what? 2 weeks of Spurs turmoil in Spurs land is upon us. So we're going to try and have some fun this week with some of the comments and some of the topics, and away we go, Ben.
Away we go, because it's a very good day, because when we've recorded this, of course, because this is the magic of YouTube, this is a pre-record, because Dagul's not getting up at 4 a.m. to do Morning Brews, because that's ridiculous. It's not 2023, it's 2024. So Ryan Mason is in advanced talks to leave Tottenham and join Anderlecht and become their new coach. What's your first reaction on this bit of news? Is he jumping ship?
First of all, Ryan Mason has taken a lot of slack for certain things, and as James Flower announced on Evening Brews, he has spoken to Ryan Mason personally as he went to school with him. And when they did speak, I'm not going to divulge everything that was spoken or said, but one of the things that he told me is he didn't understand the flack he was getting last season for set pieces when he's not even in control of them. So I think we tarred him with the wrong brush. He's inexperienced. He's had to deal with a lot during his Spurs leader. I'll say leadership, because I hate that word at the moment. Being upon the Spurs coaching staff. And you know what? He's going to go and earn his stripes. And I'm
good
actually
on him
very
well.
good, damn right good on him, because the only time you're really going to get a chance at Spurs is when we've sacked another manager until we find another manager. And then when we run out of managers and you become the permanent manager, fair play to him to go out and earn his stripes. I'm liking that people are going out, young players and young managers are now leaving England to earn their stripes. What does it mean for Spurs? We'll find out. Belgium seems to be a destination of interest for Spurs fans at the moment, obviously, anyway, with Alfie and Vuskovic. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Go and earn your stripes. It could be the making of him, Ben. He could go out there, be a huge success as a manager. Could get another job. Go on.
Ryan Mason is as big a fan as Jan Vertonghen is you, because he misses him so much that he's going over there to work with Jan Vertonghen. He's just like, I miss Jan Vertonghen so much, I'm going to become his manager and be his best mate.
Well, hopefully he's going there and saying, Jan, listen, retire quick and go back, because that will make my dreams come true.
Can we replace them? Can we swap Ryan Mason to become them and bring in Jan Vertonghen as our defensive coach? I would love to have Jan Vertonghen as our defense. We'll get to this at the end of the show, and we've got a fun game for the last 10 minutes of the show. But it's really, really great to see Ryan Mason try and actually, we've been saying it for years, go to a championship club, go to a League One club, sit on those wooden benches and manage. this is a big. Anderlecht is not a small team. I mean,
massive
some
club.
people will remember in 1984 when we beat them in a European Cup final in the UEFA Cup.
Don't get it wrong. In Belgium, Anderlecht is a huge club with huge history. Obviously, it's not the bright lights of the Premier League or Serie A. Geographically, they can do nothing about it. Belgium is a huge footballing nation. I'm sure if Joris, the Belgian Hotspur, is watching, he'll have a few comments to make on this. And it's a massive, massive football. Ryan Mason will go there. This isn't a two-bob club. This is a big club steeped in history.
Scott Parker was there last year. Where was Scott Parker? Was Scott Parker at Anderlecht last year?
I can't remember where Scott was, but I can't remember. It was Antwerp where Company was, wasn't it? It was Antwerp where Vincent Company was. Just look at that. Vincent,
no, he was at Anderlecht as well.
Okay, so Simon Davies was going to go there when I was at the training ground. Simon Davies was going to join him because he worked with him at Manchester City.
Not part of Club Brugge, not Club Brugge. Okay. He was where Tajon Buchanan was, I believe.
Don't say that name. That's a different show.
That's a whole different show. But it's really great, isn't it, for Ryan Mason to go out there and be a boss? It's about time he needs to be, instead of being Levy's guy to ship in, he's going to be not just someone's, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the boss. Yeah. And that's going to be really great for him. Because the only way Ryan Mason is going to be, let's say, a manager of Tottenham Hotspur at some point is if he goes out and actually does some we're not going to do an Arteta of bringing in Arteta to be the manager and giving him 5 years. We don't do that. We're talking about Ange Postecoglou now, for example, that he doesn't spend more than 3 years at a club. We're not going to bring in...
You look at, sorry, Benny, I was about to say, look at it. Yaya Toure going to Belgium club. There's a load of people that seem to be going there to earn their stripes, just like Divine is trying to, just like Belgian League seems to be a hub of it. I wish him well. Now, just to flip it on very quickly, what's it mean for Spurs? The Spurs, I know we're going to have a little section, but is it Spurs bringing... Do we bring in another coach? Does Spurs say, nope, does Ange say, nope, I've got the coaches with Montgomery, I've got the staff I need? Does this mean another person comes in? If it does, is it a Spurs man? Is it a disciplinarian? There's more, I think there's more questions than answers, and fair play to Ryan Mason. Go out and be your own man. If you do, I mean, as you said, advanced.
I think he did really well. Was when he managed the club, he didn't do that bad. He was managing a club in, let's say, less than ideal circumstances.
Yep.
And he did an all right job as an interim coach. Let's see how he does. We will be looking at Ryan Mason's career very, very closely as a coach, and let's see how well he does.
Correct.
But on the next piece of news, speaking of people leaving clubs, Txiki Begiristain, the greatest director of football the world has ever seen, the current director of football of Manchester City, according to The Athletic, is leaving. This is enormous news. Does this mean the dynasty is over? Because Begiristain's been there for 10 years now. He joined the City project right at the beginning, and he's been influential in bringing over this. He brought over Pep Guardiola, he brought over Pellegrini, he brought some top players have all been... We're all talking about the way Manchester City play football under Pep Guardiola, but the reason they do that is because Txiki Begiristain goes in and he makes every single team from the under-6s to the first team play the same way. Tiki-taka, one-touch, possession football. Now that he leaves, where do they go from here, Aki? Is this the end of the dynasty, as they call it?
Listen, this one is, are they aware of what's coming their way? And he's jumping ship. Is it he's had enough and wants to go home to Barcelona? And I mean, the city, not the football club. Is it Pepper said, this season I'm done? Is it there's so many things. He's been massive. They've wanted him for ages. It was a whole reason Pep came in. Yes, he's had a bundle of riches wherever he's been to do the job, and could he do it?
Again, when he didn't have the abundance of riches at Barcelona, he built the greatest team the world has ever seen. He was one of the people that scouted Lionel Messi, for example, and brought those players in. They brought in those players from La Masia. The moment he left Barcelona, you saw their trajectory. They went like that, and Manchester City went up like that. It's
you look at it as well, Ben. But sorry, bro. You look at it as well. This is all happening the day after their Premier League court case was won. Is it 2-2 making 4? Is it putting all? Is there something in it? Is Man City at the moment about to have their current?
They think this is the only battle that this was the one they're going to win, and the rest they're going to lose. For example,
I mean, it's going to be fascinating.
If they get done for at least half of the charges, they've been given 130 charges now. It was 115, but I think it's like 130 charges now. If they get done for 70 of them, they're done, aren't they? They're done as a football club. They are not staying in the top division.
See, this is the thing, and I had this chat. I can't remember who I was having it with, and if you're in the chat, say so. The problem I think I have, or we may have with this, if they threaten to do this to Manchester City, I have a sneaky suspicion. This person said to me, I have a sneaky suspicion. What we will be seeing is Manchester City go, right, screw England. Let's speak to Real Madrid. Let's speak to Barca. Let's speak to Juve, Super League. Because Man City could just say, treat us like this, then after everything we've done, we will then do this to you. It's going to.
The Premier League could turn around, Aki, and say, look what all you've done. You've ruined the league. You've turned the most competitive league in the world into a farmers' league. That's what they've turned it. The amount of Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager, apart from maybe Ferguson. Them two are like that. The only way Pep Guardiola can go like that is if he comes to Tottenham and wins Tottenham the league. If he comes to Tottenham and wins the league, he's not just the greatest manager in sports. He's basically God. They're going to rip down churches all around the world and make the Pep Guardiola church. That's God tier.
Yeah, it's again we're going to have to wait and see how this develops. But I think there could be trouble ahead. You mentioned about how they would say you ruined the Premier League. Well, the same could be said of Chelsea. The same could have been said about other teams.
10 years. Chelsea never went like 5 years winning the Premier League and winning trebles and winning doubles.
No, but what they did do is obviously they came in, changed the course of football because they were the first big ones. And then you look at teams like Nottingham Forest and Everton that have been penalised very, very abruptly, or not abruptly, quickly, where these ones are just dragged on because they got the more expensive lawyers. It's a minefield, isn't it?
It is. It's very difficult because you're right. The Premier League without Manchester City is a lot worse a product. And that's, again, the Premier League is a product. It is a product just like Lynx deodorant, like Roundtree's let's bring up the most random product. They are a product. And if Manchester City leave the Premier League, the product is nowhere near as good because they are just one of the greatest watches, just entertainment-wise. And let us know in the comments down below, do you think this is the end of Manchester City? Do you think Pep Guardiola is going to go to... Because I could see Pep Guardiola going to America, going to manage an Inter Miami, winning everything over there with Messi, and then retiring. I can see that happening. I think Pep Guardiola doesn't need to prove anything anymore. He's just the greatest coach football has ever seen.
Come to Toronto. The weather's lovely. Come to Toronto. The weather's lovely at Windsor. It's very Barcelona-esque here in January and February and December.
Barcelona-esque in April, May, June, July, August, September is very Barcelona-esque.
And October, mate, listen, it's still beautiful blue skies out here and warm. It's getting cooler. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Manchester City. Again, with Manchester City out, the title's Arsenal or Liverpool's, isn't it?
Or another big boy, can come back into it. Another team could fill that void. Let's say team players won't be going to Manchester City anymore. Do Man United come back? Because people are going to be like, oh, I supported Man United. Do Man United become a powerhouse again? Because they have all that Manchester talent come back. And Ratcliffe is building something incredible over there with the £1 billion stadium, 100,000 seater stadium. 100,000 seater, that's going to generate some money. Levy wishes he had a 100,000 seater stadium. But on to the last, this is going to be a bit of a game. And with Ryan Mason departing Tottenham Hotspur, we want to bring this to you, the audience. If you could choose one ex-Spurs player to sit on the bench on Ange Postecoglou's team and be part of this whole, who would you choose? I'm going to let you go first, Aki, because we certainly need someone that's going to be a bit of a leader on that bench and might be able to talk to the players and get that sort of leadership back, because we're missing it.
I had this kind of chat with James Flower on Evening Brews and the people in there. So my heart would want Jan Vertonghen. My heart would want Jan Vertonghen in a goddamn.
This is up to you, Aki. So you can choose Jan Vertonghen.
But then I was just about to say, because then you look at it, Robbie Keane is also a shout, and Robbie Keane has. I've got a lot of respect for Keano. He went over to Israel, went over to a league that no one's familiar with really. New language, new culture, new standards of football. Had to learn the language. Yep. Had to, and he came back, and what he did out there was incredible. Now, the conversation is about, obviously, we can embellish on this a bit more after you've given yours. I said earlier, do we need an ex-Spurs man? Do we need a disciplinarian? Do we need a fitness master? Do we need whatever? If I had to go in my head, Jan Vertonghen all day, every day. If I had to go in my heart, Jan Vertonghen. And he hasn't officially retired, and I hope he does come back. But I think if I had to go in my head right now, it would be Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
What about you?
My heart is in a very similar place to you. I think we're missing a lot of the Tottenham DNA in this squad. And people say, what Tottenham DNA? We do what Tottenham always do. Go 2-0 up and bottle it like we did against Bolton 15 years ago. It's great.
Yep.
I would love to see Ledley King on that. He's done it before under Jose Mourinho, and I think he did a fairly all right job. And I think I would love to see Ed Ledley King or a Michael Dawson on that bench. We need someone with real leadership that's going to be telling these players what it means to play for Tottenham, what it means. Of course, this isn't a Tottenham player, but someone that Ange might actually look at, and I don't know if he's still willing to do a job. Ange could go on one of his Celtic connections. It wouldn't surprise me if he brought in a Roy Keane. I think Roy Keane would be very good for this dressing room. Someone to throw some boots out. But if I was going to choose a player, a former player to join the team, I would love to see Michael Dawson. I think we really desperately need a bit of leadership, a bit of old school arm round the shoulder, a bit of shouting.
It's a shout, but again, I don't see. Michael Dawson is Spurs through and through. There's no doubt his love for his club. He's back working in as an ambassadorial role. Do I think that transpires into management? This is why I've gone Robbie, because Robbie's got the experience.
He's done
now.
It, yeah. He's been done it,
and he's done it in a, like I said, he's
done
had
it on his own as well. He's done it on his own.
Basically, what Ryan Mason has just done.
Yeah.
Basically, what Ryan Mason has done, but he hasn't. He's gone to Israel. He's gone to a very much lower standard of football and quality league, but he's gone there, dealt with it, won silverware. And I think you want to talk about a man who's Spurs through and through. You want to talk about a man that's got a bit of leadership and a bit of bite. You've got someone that's knocked out Edgar Davids on the training ground. I don't think you can look past Robbie Keane.
I think he'd be another great assistant manager. I'd love him to see him knock out half the team at this rate. It still would.
Of course you would. Of course you would. I think you can't look any further than Robbie Keane.
But let us know in the chat what you think. Let us know in the comments. Of course, we won't be able to answer the comments. We'll be in the chat. Well, I'll be in the chat watching this video. And we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. It's just a fun, quick show to just get a morning cup of coffee in. But, okay, we're doing evening brews later, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing evening brews. I've still got to finalise the guest. As I said, yesterday's evening brew. There may be an evening brew. It might be pre-recorded if there's no news to talk about. There will be during this international break. Obviously, there's not a lot to really talk about. I might even have some evening brews where we just play bingo. Who knows?
I'll join for some bingo.
Just have some fun. But yeah, there will be an evening brews at some point tomorrow. There will be some pre-recorded bits. And yeah, Ben, I look forward to doing some more morning brews with you during the week.
It's going to be fun. But from all of us here at Tottenham on Tour, we want to wish you a great rest of your day. And we have to do this the old-fashioned way because you're here, Dagul. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, if you smell what the Kauff is brewing, and take it away, Aki.
And as always, Levy out.